Okay, let's dive into this. If you're in the travel business, you know the dream, right? It's all about creating those unforgettable experiences for people. But let's be real, the day-to-day reality can feel more like drowning in paperwork. So today, we're going to break down a tool called AI GSTN. It's designed to take all that admin work off your plate and really transform how your agency operates.
So let me just ask you this, especially if you're running a travel business. Does it ever feel like you're spending more time wrestling with spreadsheets and chasing invoices than you are, actually designing incredible trips for your clients? If you're nodding along right now, this is definitely for you.
You know, that friction, that feeling of being completely bogged down by the little things? Well, it actually has a name. We call it the travel business bottleneck. It's what happens when all those small, manual tasks pile up and just keep your business from really hitting its stride. And this slide, wow, this really just captures that whole struggle, doesn't it? Over on the left, you've got the old way. I mean, it's just chaos, right? Drowning in paperwork, totally stressed about taxes, and client inquiries are just scattered everywhere. Emails, DMs, you name it. But on the right, that's the goal. A smooth, automated system where your energy goes into your clients and growing your business, not the tedious admin.
So the big question is, how do you get from that chaos on the left to the calm on the right? Well, the answer lies in an intelligent ERP solution, one that's built from the ground up specifically for the travel industry.
Yeah, we're talking about a complete travel ERP. Now, ERP sounds kind of corporate, but think of it like this. It's the central command center for your entire business. A single platform to manage absolutely everything, from the very first moment a potential client gets in touch, all the way through to the final invoice and sorting out the taxes.
And that brings us right to the heart of it all, AI GSTN. Its whole mission is pretty simple, really. It's built to be that intelligent command center for the modern travel agency, that complete ERP we were just talking about.
Okay, so let's get practical. Let's actually break down how a tool like this automates your core workflow, moving from one step to the next, seamlessly. Because this is where the magic really happens. This is where you see the transformation.
This is just the perfect customer journey, all laid out in one smooth flow. First, you capture the inquiry. Then, boom, you build a beautiful itinerary. Once that gets the green light, the system instantly creates all the professional documents. Then it generates the invoice, and finally, it automates the GST compliance. It's a single, unbroken chain from the very beginning to the very end.
You know, everything kicks off with that first inquiry. And managing those leads the right way, it's not just about staying organized. It's literally the first and most important step toward growing your revenue.
See, it all comes down to turning that casual interest into a confirmed booking. Instead of leads getting lost in some messy inbox or a random spreadsheet, a smart CRM acts like a perfect funnel. It just pulls those inquiries in, organizes them, and gives you a structured way to follow up so you can convert way more of them into actual sales.
All right, so you've grabbed their attention with great lead management. The next challenge? You've got to wow them with an amazing proposal. And for a travel agent, that means a stunning itinerary, and you need to build it fast.
Honestly, this is a total game changer. Think about it. Creating a professional, visually awesome itinerary in just a few minutes, not hours, means you can get back to clients faster, you can handle more requests, and you never ever have to cut corners on quality. Okay, so the client loves the itinerary, they're excited, they've booked the trip, awesome. The next step is getting them all the documents they need, and this is such a critical moment where that professional touch makes all the difference in the world. So instead of that last-minute scramble trying to pull together vouchers and tickets and confirmations, the system just generates a professional digital docket for you, instantly. Your client gets everything they need in one clean, branded package. And you get to skip all that tedious, error-prone paperwork. All right, now we get to a part of the business that can cause some major headaches, billing and invoicing. Getting paid on time and keeping track of it all isn't just important, it's absolutely critical for survival. With smart billing, the system just does it for you. It generates and sends out professional invoices automatically. And it makes tracking payments super simple, so you always know exactly where you stand financially. It just removes that whole administrative headache so you can focus on your clients. And finally, we arrive at what might just be the single biggest source of stress for so many business owners: tax compliance. Yep, we're talking about GST filing. Just look at that number. Seriously, imagine cutting the time you spend on compliance by 90%. That is the power of automation.
Because every single invoice and transaction is already logged in the system, generating your GST reports becomes a simple, one-click task. This just eliminates massive amounts of stress and the risk of making some really costly mistakes.
So, we've automated the day-to-day operations, the daily grind. But a truly intelligent system, it does more than just help you run your business. It gives you the tools you need to actually grow it.
This is where the AI in AI GSTN really shines. See, the system doesn't just hold on to your data. It actually analyzes it to give you these powerful, strategic insights you can actually use.
And here's why that's so important. These reports let you make decisions based on data, not just gut feelings. For example, what if a report showed you that your weekend getaway package gets a 30% higher conversion rate from leads that come from Instagram? Well, instantly you know exactly where to focus your marketing budget. You stop guessing and you start strategizing.
So when you put all of these pieces together, the seamless workflow, the automated compliance, the smart insights, you're not just looking at a new piece of software. You're really looking at the future of your agency.
So, are you ready to transform your travel business? Because what we're talking about here isn't just about saving a bit of time on a few tasks. It's about fundamentally changing how your business operates, shifting from that manual, friction-filled process to an automated, intelligent flow.
Let's just end with this thought. Imagine for a second that compliance, invoicing, and creating documents were just handled. They're done. All that time and mental energy you spend on that stuff is now free. What would you do with it? What if your biggest challenge was no longer drowning in paperwork, but figuring out the best way to plan your growth? That's a possibility a system like this opens up.